Hello, it's Mr. Williamson here, and in the next series of videos I'd like to show you the order in which we teach how to form and write the letters, starting with, as you can see here, the curly caterpillar letters. If I just move on, once again, as you may have seen before, if you follow these links on the school website, that will navigate you to the page you've just seen, which I'll just pop that back to, which shows you what we call the letters and the order in which we teach them. So you can see we've started here with the curly caterpillar letters. If you look at how this translates again into our handwriting, you can see here where you would have just indicating the line that would be the line on the page. Here is our dotted line to show where the middle parts of the letters sit. Here is the top and bottom do not cross. Once again, red line showing, as I'm showing here, where the ascenders and the descenders would go. So I'll just clear those off for a second. So you can also see, if I just change the colour, we've got some indication here as to the way, where the letters start and the way in which they are formed, including this one down here, which is always slightly tricky, which is the E sort of starting in the middle, as you can see here, touching the dotted line and then sitting on the line there. Right, so if I start with the curly caterpillar letters, they're called curly caterpillar because they begin with the letter C. So as you can see, I have started it below this dotted line, only slightly below, curving to touch that line, back round and sitting it nicely on the line. Also making sure, just indicating the green, that these two areas line up with each other as well. Just remove that. Then from the C, we move on to the A. Once again, we can see, I'm sticking in green then. We go up, down and flick. So we've got round like a curly K, and then now we go up to that dotted line, down, and with that all important flick. Just change that back to black. So once we've done the A, we then do the D. Again, as we say, round like a curly K. And this time we do tall top up to that red line, that do not cross line, back down and flick. Once again, you can see it starts with that curly K, that's C, then all the way up to that line and down with a flick. After the D, again, we've got the G, round like a curly K, back up there, but this time we're going to come down to this red do not cross line for the descenders, and that's our G. Then the Q, again, curly caterpillar, round like a curly K. So we go up and we go as straight down as we can. And then we have that lovely sort of angled flick like that. Now we move on to the O. So again, round, but this time we sort of continue round. And what we really would like is that little flick on the top. I'll show you that once more. So we just go round, really making sure we touch those lines and putting that little flick on the top. Then we have that tricky one I mentioned where we start here. It's the only one where we do that. We come straight across, then we have to come round, and that's where we get that C part of that curly letter. And then we've got the S. I know this one doesn't actually have that full curly K. You can see where it begins here, but then we come round and sit it on that line. And once again, I'll use the green, making sure that these areas line up nicely with each other. So if I move on to how that translates onto the lines, again, you will probably have seen this before in a previous video, but I'll just quickly show. If I do my curly K and then my A, and you'll notice it's always important in our handwriting that we have these very clear, I'll go for blue, these very clear finger spaces. Teaching the children to include finger spaces between their words is vital. So a little practice in handwriting does not hurt at all. So we've got the C, the A, here's my curly K starting up there for my D, and then round like a curly K, as we say, and up, down with the monkey's tail there. And then if I move over to these lines here, this will show you once again how this would translate into the page we had before. So you can see here that would be the black line. That would indicate the line on the page. Obviously, this is all you would see on the lined paper. Then we have this line here, which could be the line that shows you where the monkey's tails go. Here would show you where our tall tops go. And then finally, and this I think is probably the most important in your mind's eye, where do these middle parts of these letters go? So that is the order in which we form these letters. I'll just go back, the curly caterpillar letters, and there will be videos on the other letters in our groups. I'll just click back here. So the bridge letters, the tall top letters, the tittle letters, scoop, valley, and tricky letters. So I hope you have found this useful, and tune into another video soon. Thank you very much for listening.